Greetings, everybody, and once again, welcome into Lawrence-Dumont Stadium in downtown Wichita. It's time for Hutchinson Community College Baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Tonight, elimination game number 2 as the number 3 ranked Blue Dragons get set to take on the Neosho County Panthers out of the Jayhawk East. I'm Steve Carpenter. Thanks for joining us. I'll be joined momentarily by Denny Steckline. Earlier today, the Blue Dragons outlasted Fort Scott 14-9 in a game that was one of the weirder ones you're going to see. But the Blue Dragons got 7 really strong innings out of Wyatt Davis, and the Dragons pounded out 17 hits, 4 coming from Caden Doge, and several others chipped in to get the win. Neosho County earlier today knocked off KCK in a wild game by the score of 5-4. There were 4 lead changes after the 6th inning. So, Denny Steckline, we said when the day started a long time ago that the Hutchinson Blue Dragons needed a series of 5 one-run winning streaks. One's in the books. What's it going to take to get number 2?
Well, Carp, it's going to take something that they showed a little bit more resiliency earlier today. They've gotten out the leads in last night's game against Johnson County. Could not hold that lead. Got out to a big lead again today and struggled with it. They were able to maintain it, but they gave up, I believe, was it 7 runs in the last 2 innings?
Yes.
And that's not going to get it done. And so we're going to see David Tudhope on the mound for the Blue Dragons today. David's season numbers are strong. He came in, he threw a few pitches yesterday in the Johnson County game. And you could say that about most of the Blue Dragon pitching staff who made an appearance yesterday. But David's going to need to have a strong game, and we've talked about having to have that. Somebody's going to have to step up and be that pitcher that eats some innings and keeps the opponent off the scoreboard. And whether that's David tonight or somebody out of the pen, but we're going to need that, and that's the only way they're going to stay alive in this tournament.
Now, we've talked about it. The bullpen has struggled down the stretch. Several pitchers have not performed well. That gave Ryan Schmidt a little bit of consternation coming into this, so it's imperative that the starters go deep. David Tudhope brings in a 5-1 record and a 4.75 ERA. As a starter, since joining the rotation, that ERA has been about 3.8. He'll be opposed by Alex DeBoard. He's a right-handed sophomore who's 7-3, but making just his 4th start of the year. Denny and I will talk more about this coming up after the break. It's the Blue Dragons and the Panthers live from Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium, everybody. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you. Let's get to the starting lineups before we set the scene for this elimination game. First, the Blue Dragons will be the home team. Will have the last at bat. The lineup for Neosho County, 41-21 coming in. They finished 3rd in the Jayhawk East under veteran head coach Steve Murray. For the Panthers, left fielder Nate Crossman will lead it off. He'll be followed by the shortstop Josh Norlin. A very good catcher, both offensively and defensively, in Cooper Minik. He bats 3rd. Tanner Arce is the designated hitter, batting 4th. Batting 5th is the right fielder, Nolan Beats. Center fielder Aaron Deese bats 6th. Batting 7th is the first baseman, Joe Mondragon. Batting 8th will be the third baseman, Will Clark. And Caleb Delatorre is the second baseman batting ninth. Right-handed sophomore Alex DeBoard, the starting pitcher, 7-3 coming in. So for Steve Murray's Panthers, it's Crossman, Norlin, Minik, Arce Beats, Dees, Mondragon, Clark, and De La Torre with Alex DeBoard on the mound. For the Blue Dragons, their usual lineup, Shane Cooper, a little bit out of breath. Shane Cooper is shortstop, leads it off. Michael Hellman bats second and plays second base. Batting third is the left fielder, Bobby Morgenson. Nolan Hackles, the center fielder, batting cleanup. Batting fifth is the first baseman, Brady Hoover. Caden Delgay, coming off a 4-hit game this afternoon, bats sixth. Wyatt Divis, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Catcher Scott Wolverton bats eighth. And batting ninth is the right fielder, Brock Schaefer. David Tedhope, the left-handed sophomore, 5-1 to 4.75 ERA, is the starting pitcher. So for Ryan Schmidt's Blue Dragons, it is Cooper, Hellman, Morgenson, Hackle, Hoover, Doge, Divis, Wolverton, Schaefer, and David Tedhope on the mound. So, impressions from this afternoon going into this one, Denny?
You know, Carp, I'm puzzled. What Blue Dragon team are we going to see show up? And they've proven, and I was reflecting on this watching the end of the Cowley-Johnson County game. Cowley is the only team undefeated at this point in this tournament. They won the winner's bracket final game to advance undefeated into the championship matchup tomorrow night. And the Blue Dragons played that Cowley team twice this season and swept them. Beat them once at Hobart-Detter and beat them once down in Arc City. And that shows you what the Blue Dragons are capable of. And is that the team we're going to see tonight? Tuddy has been a very effective starter throughout the season, and so we have no reason to believe that's not what we should see. But the magic's going to need to come from the bullpen. Unless we can get through this one with Tuddy going the distance. But the bullpen's going to have to be more effective than what they've been the last two games.
Your umpires this evening at third base, Nate Garrison. At first base, Doug Thrasher. And behind the plate, Randy Jordan, whom I think is a very good umpire behind the plate for David Tedhope, who has to work the corners and be effective with his spots to be successful on the mound. Randy Jordan traditionally has one of the bigger zones in the Jayhawk Conference. So the Dragons getting set to take on the Neosho County Panthers. The last time these two teams played in the postseason was the 2012 sub-regional, and this was the last year they played the 4-team sub-regionals, and the 4 winners came here to Wichita. And the games were played in Chanute. And the Blue Dragons lost the winner's bracket final and subsequent championship game to Neosho County. They were 2-2 in that tournament. They lost the first game to the Panthers 3-1, and then lost 2-1 in the championship game. And that's the game where, for Blue Dragon fans who can think back that far, B.B. Kimbrell hit a bomb to right center field that shockingly did not leave the park. Hit a high off the wall, and Tanner Lubach was thrown out the plate as the potential tying run that came in the 8th inning, and the Blue Dragons fell in that game 2-1. That's the last time these two teams have played in the postseason. So we take our look at David Tedhope. Tuddy is a 6', 180-pound lefty, a sophomore from Overland Park, Kansas. The season numbers on Tedhope: David making his 12th start, 16th overall appearance, a 5-1 record with 2 complete games and 2 shutouts. 4.75 ERA for Tedhope. 60 2/3 innings pitched, 68 hits allowed, 37 runs, 32 earned. He has struck out 54 and walked 29. And opposing hitters hitting .293 against. Neosho County, another very good offensive team. .338 team batting average, 73 RBIs. Here in Wichita through 3 games, they're hitting .298.
73 home runs, Carps. Don't mean to correct you, but you said RBIs.
Did I? Good Lord. Maybe I'd let you do play-by-play tonight.
I say it'd be tough to get through 62 games with 73 RBIs.
It would be tough. Nate Crossman to lead it off for the Neosho County Panthers, and David Tedhope starts him with a strike, 8:49 first pitch, and here we go. The winner gets Johnson County tomorrow.
Carpet will be interesting to watch the strike zone is in. That's going to be down into the right field corner for Crossman.
It's off the wall. Schaefer plays it well, and it'll be a stand-up leadoff double for Crossman.
I want to follow up on your comment about Randy Jordan's strike zone. It's going to be interesting to watch that because what we've seen to this point in the last two Blue Dragon games and then watching the last half of the Johnson County Cowley game before this is the pitchers are not getting calls off the corners at all. And so much to the point in the Johnson County game when Cowley put up 6 in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead and put that one away. Johnson County made a pitching change, and as the pitcher was walking off, he wasn't looking at the ump, but he was definitely had some words for him, and the umpire had some words back for him, and there was a lot of frustration in his body language and his behavior. And so we'll see if that strike zone doesn't get a little bit wider right now.
Josh Norlin, the batter for Neosho County, a sophomore shortstop, hitting .403. And there's a hit into left center field for a base hit that's going to go to the gap and all the way to the wall. Scoring easily is Crossman. Norlin will put the brakes on after a wide turn at second. 2 batters in. Neosho County leads at 1-0 on back-to-back doubles. Tuddy pitched last night. Didn't pitch long. Let me find that. David Tuddy threw 1 2/3 innings last night, gave up 2 runs and 1 hit, struck out 2 and walked 1. So it's a tough start for Tuddy here with back-to-back doubles. And now probably the team's best hitter in Cooper Minich steps in. The pitch, way outside, ball 1. Cooper Minich hitting .376, 9 home runs, 69 RBIs. Minik here in Wichita is 3 for 13 with a double, 1 run scored. It is a big cut, and he fouls it back, 1-1.
First 2 batters have both gone opposite field for their extra bases as well, which David's not an overpowering pitcher, so you don't necessarily expect to see that.
Both pitches were elevated, and Tuddy has to work down to be successful. Tuddy comes set now, delivers. Pitch foul back off the press box. Back into the crowd. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dragons earlier today tied a school record for victories with the 47th. That tied the 2002 team. Hutchinson so far in the postseason, 4-1. Pitch hit him. Tuddy grabbed that slider just a little too tight, and it went right into the leg of Minik. Now it's first and second, nobody out for the designated hitter, Tanner Arst. Arst hitting .300 here in Wichita, 3 for 10 for the season. Tanner Arst is hitting .409 with 38 hits, 6 home runs, and 21 RBIs. So 3 batters in, 3 batters have reached, and 1's already scored for Neosho County. Hutchinson does have the last at bat. But the Dragons are going to have to lock it down quick. Neosho County's offense has also been fairly free-flowing in the postseason as well. A pitch taken outside. 1-0 to Arst.
Arst has grounded into a double play this weekend here in the tournament, so that would certainly be something the Dragons would like to order up right now.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. 1-1. Ground ball to short. Cooper has it, flips to Helmut for 1 on the first. Not in time. So they get the out at second. Now runners at the corners, 1 away. Wasn't really hit hard enough to turn 2.
No, and Cooper and Helmut were not the most fluid. They've been more fluid at times. We've seen them this year. And Took him a little bit longer than normal to turn that one, but Arce got down the line in good fashion.
That'll bring up the right fielder, Nolan Beats. Beats 4 for 11 through their first 3 games here in Wichita. Beats hitting .311 with 10 home runs and 48 RBIs for the season. Ted Hope misses outside with an off-speed pitch for ball 1. On Friday, Neosho County beat Barton 5-2. And they lost to Cowley yesterday 2-0. High pop into moderate left center field. Nolan Hackle gets under it, makes the catch, tagging from third, and scoring is Norlin to make it 2-0. But now there's 2 outs in the inning. Norlin scores 2-0 Neosho County, and that'll bring up the center fielder Alex Dees. Dees 4 for 10 with a home run here in Wichita, 2 RBIs. Aaron Dees, I'm sorry, thank you. .367 average, 16 home runs. That's a team high.
You had me double checking my roster there, Carp. I'm finding Aaron Dees, but
I think I wrote
couldn't
down.
find Alex.
No, I've got Aaron right there.
Okay.
I think 12 games in 3 days is catching up to me finally. It's been catching up all day.
If you start announcing Rick Dees, then I'm really going to be confused.
0-1 to Dees. Actually, the scoreboard says 1-0. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
So is it 0-2 Carp or is it 1-1? Do you know?
I
was waiting for Randy Jordan to show us, and he didn't give us any.
No, the scoreboard must be right, otherwise he probably would have flashed it. The pitch. Here's a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2. Obviously, it was 1-1.
You were busy looking for Alex Dees.
Yes. There's a slider outside, get blocked by Scott Wolverton. Defensively for the Dragons, they're lined up just like they have been for almost the last month. Bobby Morgenson in left, Nolan Hackle in center, Brock Schaefer in right, Caden Doge at third, Shane Cooper at short, Michael Helmut at second, Brady Hoover at first, and Scott Wolverton behind the plate. Foul back to the screen by Dees, and the stage 2-2. The Blue Dragons allowing first inning runs has not been uncommon. When the opponent scores first, the Blue Dragons are 18-8 this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. So Tuddy starts locating a little bit better in the inning, but he gives up 2 doubles and a sac fly. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Panthers in the top of the first. After a half, it's Neosho County 2 and the Dragons coming up. Blue Dragons get a look at right-hander Alex Dees for the first time. Dees, a 6'4", 210-pound sophomore from Fargo, North Dakota.
You are really hung up on Alex Dees, aren't you?
It's Alex DeBoer. Good Lord. I'm ready. Oh, I need to go back to Hutch tonight, which I am, but hopefully after a Blue Dragon win.
Let me introduce the folks to Alex DeBoer, all right,
There
Carp?
we go. Go for it.
DeBoer is a 6'4", 210-pound sophomore from Fargo, North Dakota.
That's him.
His 4th start of the year, he's 7-3 with a 4.45 ERA. 54 and 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 65 hits, so more than one hit per inning. 30 runs, 27 of them earned, 19 walks, and 48 strikeouts.
Here's Shane Cooper to lead it off. Cooper 1 for 6 earlier today. Had an RBI, his 100th career RBI, now hitting .342 for the year. 79 total hits, 8 home runs, 51 RBIs. Line shot right to the shortstop, Norlin. And there's one away. Ball was hard hit, but it was an atom ball. Now Michael Helmut.
Got to take the positive away from that one. He hit it about as hard as you could hit it. He just hit it at the wrong spot.
Helmut, for only the second time since early April, his average has dropped below 500, now at 496 as the board throws strike one. 496 average, 111 hits, 17 home runs, 73 RBIs. Fly ball to right field, drifting back as beats. And he makes the catch, and there's 2 away. So quickly 2 down for left fielder Bobby Morgenson. Morgenson, 2 for 5 this afternoon. Had a triple, a walk, run scored, and an RBI. Now 87 RBIs for the season, hitting .374 with 85 hits and 10 home runs. Bobby so far in the postseason, hitting .333, 7 for 21. Here in Wichita, 4 for 13 with 3 RBIs. Swing and a miss. Very quickly, it's 0-2. Two nothing Neosho County. Panthers with 2 quick ones in the top of the first. Fastball outside. That had a little velocity to it.
Some pop on the glove.
Gorgeous evening in Wichita. 75 degrees at the 9 o'clock hour. The 1-2 to Morgenson just off the plate wide, 2-2.
He's taking that approach when you've got a batter 0-2, 1-2. You catcher sets up off the plate just a little bit. He was off the plate quite a bit on the 0-2 pitch, a little bit closer on the 1-2. Go inside, and that's going to get Bobby.
Called third, and very quickly the Dragons go in order in the bottom of the first. After 1 here in Wichita, Neosho County 2 and Hutchinson 0. Two nothing. Hutchinson trails Neosho County in this elimination game. We are down to 4 teams. Hutchinson is the one remaining Jayhawk West team. And Joe Mondragon, the first baseman, leads it off and takes ball 1 from David Tudhope. Mondragon, who we have already claimed having the best name in the tournament, hitting .296 for the year, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. He has started every game at first base here in Wichita for Steve Murray and takes a strike. It's 1-1. Mondragon here in Wichita, 4 for 12 with a double, 2 RBIs and a run scored.
If there was ever anyone who really intended to play in Hutchinson, it would have been him, don't you think?
I've been saying that all weekend. He's played a very good first base, too. Slider from Tudhope outside, 2-1. Ted Hope's two primary pitches, fastball, slider. Does have a changeup. Pitching on the hands, foul back. Had another foul ball come just underneath me over in the sound room the game before. Got to admit, I ducked.
You ducked?
I ducked. 2-2.
Seems to me, Carp, if the ball was coming below you, you probably should have jumped as opposed to duck. If you duck, you're going to get yourself into the line of fire.
I had the facade block.
Oh, you're getting behind. Okay, I got you. Looking down here at the net, I see half a dozen baseballs just waiting for you to crawl down and get those.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three, 1 away. Second straight strikeout for Ted Hope, so he appears to be locking in. That'll bring up the third baseman, Will Clark. Not to be confused with Will the Thrill, who used to play for the Giants. Sophomore Will Clark, a third baseman, hitting .223, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs, and Ted Hope starts him off with a ball outside. Clark here in Wichita, 1 for 8. No extra base hits, only 1 run scored. The pitch in the dirt, 2-0.
Carp, I'm getting some text messages. I think we've got a fan club back in Hutchinson that's tuning in, and they're providing some additional comments and commentary for us.
I'm not sure I want to see that, though. Could be good, could be bad.
So far, it's not bad at all.
Well, that's good. 3-0 to Clark is down to shoot for a strike, 3-1.
Just great to hear and know we've got some folks back home tuning in, watch the Blue Dragons, and Panthers taking this one on a beautiful Sunday evening.
There's a strike at the knees, and Ted Hope's come back from 3-0 to work the count full. The first year that we broadcast from down here, and this would have been 2009. First, this 3-2 pitch from Ted Hope. Just missed low. Close pitch, but it's a walk. The first issued by Ted Hope. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Caleb De La Torre. This is the first time we had broadcast from down, and we were audio only at the time. The video streaming hadn't come into fruition yet. We had so many hits on that audio stream that we totally knocked off the online stuff back at the college. We had to come up with our own server the next year. Strike on the outside corner at the knees, 0-1 to De La Torre.
Well, you took great joy probably, too, in causing panic amongst a bunch of IT guys.
I did, because it was during finals. Move over to first. Ted Hope's got a great pickoff move, 7 picks this year.
Been sitting on 7 for a while. He's due to get him number 8. Like to see it happen in this game.
De La Torre, a .331 hitter for the season. The pitch. Ground ball right to Hoover. They go to second for 1. Back to first. That's a double play.
Beautifully
3-6-3,
turned.
and the inning is over. A strikeout, a walk, and a double play. That's how the second wraps up for Neosho County. We go to the bottom of the second. Dragons trail 2-0. Little AC/DC blasting on the LD sound system, never a bad thing. 2-0 Neosho County Dragons coming up. Home half of the second. It'll be Nolan Hackle, Brady Hoover, and Caden Doge, the middle third of the order, against Alex DeBoard. Nolan Hackle has had a very good postseason. Hackle with a team-high 8 RBIs, hitting .304, 7 for 23 in 5 postseason games. Earlier today, he drove in a couple of more runs. And DeBoard starts him off with strike one.
Nolan had a pair of singles, reached on an air, scored a couple of runs in the win earlier this afternoon.
For the season, Nolan Hackle hitting .353. That pitch is taken low for a ball, 1-1. 72 total hits for Hack, 9 home runs, 45 RBIs. That gives Nolan Hackle 99 career hits. Pitch inside, 2-1. This sophomore class continues to reach milestone after milestone. The pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. A little bit late on that fastball. DeBoard's bringing it, and I would love to know what he's got on the gun. But the Dragons have been a little bit behind that fastball in the early going.
Yeah, he's rearing back and challenging him, and so far he's coming out on top.
So you're going to miss strike 3. Second strikeout for DeBoard. That's 4 in a row retired. Now the Brady Hoover, the first baseman. Brady for the season, .313 average, 55 hits, 12 home runs, 47 RBIs. In the postseason, who 5 for 24, 208 average, a double and 5 driven in. He's had some big hits though. Ball 1. Hoover earlier today, 1 for 6 with an RBI double and a run scored. Brady outside with that fastball, 2-0.
Brady's a product of the powerful Mays High School baseball program here in the greater Wichita area. Undoubtedly has some friends and family here tonight.
The pitch, swing and miss on a high fastball, 2-1. Brady, if there's one hole in his swing, it's that high fastball. Many righties chase that. That's not just a problem of Hoover's. The pitch, strike at the knees, 2-2. So right now, DeBoard really changing locations well. Here's the 2-2. Foul back.
Just got a piece of that one.
Dragons did a lot of that this afternoon against Fort Scott. Fouled off multiple 2-strike pitches. Hoover had one elongated at bat with a bunch of foul balls on 2 strikes. Brock Schaefer had another. Two-two delivery. High chopper to second. De La Torre fields and throws, and there's 2 away.
You know, on this turf, you can see some of the uncertainty amongst these infielders, and De La Torre took a couple steps in like he wanted to charge it, like players are typically trained to do and taught to do, but then put the brakes on, let the ball come to him, and had plenty of time to still complete the play.
Coming off a 4-hit game against Fort Scott earlier today, Caden Doge steps in, takes ball 1. Doge's average climbed 7 points from this morning, or from this afternoon, now hitting .310, 10 home runs, 47 RBIs.
It felt like this morning, though, didn't it, Carp?
It did.
It's been a long time ago.
There's a strike, 1-1. This is my 12th game of the tournament, so yeah, I'm a little bleary-eyed and probably wires a little bit crossed. Still no excuse for calling everybody the same name. The pitch, down low in the dirt, 2-1. For the last 2 years, I've always used in the press box, Denny is my conscience. He usually gets me straight pretty quick, so.
I try to keep you on your toes because, you know, I'm not hesitant to throw you under the bus either when you do.
3-1. Still one of the greatest tweets he ever threw at me was the old tweet when I didn't flinch your first year up there in the press box. That is very stoic, and I was too old to move. 3-1 pitch, swung on a miss, the full count now to Caden. Earlier today, we got a tweet from Caden's mom, Shelly, down in Louisiana. No, they're listening. And again, 3-2 pitch, and it's a 2-out walk. Doge becomes the first base runner of the evening. That is the 36th walk for Caden Doge this year.
You know, that tweet from Shelly got me thinking about this. She took good care of us earlier this season. You remember that shipment of king cakes we got from Louisiana?
That was good stuff now.
Shelly, I got one small piece because carp does not share well. But it was delicious, and we thank you for it.
Pitch low to Wyatt Davis, the hottest Dragon hitter of them all. Earlier today, Wyatt Davis 3 for 4 with a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Average back over 400 at 401 for the season with 9 home runs and 59 RBIs.
Did a lot to help his own cause as the starting pitcher in the earlier game today.
Low ball 2. Davis in 5 postseason games, hitting .524, 11 for 21, 4 doubles, 7 RBIs. Here in Wichita, he's 5 for 13 with 2 doubles, 3 runs, and 4 driven in.
The board now having some control problems with Doge and now Davis. He was challenging the hitters and doing so successfully, but they're showing a little more patience now.
Outfield straight away for the Panthers. The pitch. That one's hit the left field pretty
It's
well.
hit really well, too.
Back, and this ball is gone. We're tied on Wyatt Davis's 2-run home run. Home run number 10, RBI 60 and 61, and we're all knotted up at 2.
And Carp, I was thinking it and I hadn't said it yet. What's the other important factor about this play right here? 2 outs.
That's right, 2 outs.
2 outs.
That's right. That is now 24 2-out runs in the postseason. And another opposite field shot for Davis. Now Scott Wolverton bats. Bases empty, 2 away, and he takes a strike at the knees. Wolverton had a nice afternoon, a double, triple, 2 out of 5, 3 RBIs. That triple was his second 3-bagger of the year. Wolverton up to 316. And DeBoard right back in the pocket with 2 straight strikes to Wolverton. Scott in the postseason hitting .333, 6 for 18, 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 driven in. Here in Wichita, he's 2 for 11, both those hits coming today. That pitch bounces in and back toward the dugout. And Wolverton down 1-2 in the count.
The way Davis keeps continuing to go opposite field, you almost wonder with the defensive shift being such a fashionable thing right now. And
grounded up the middle. Norlin will get to it. Sets, throws, and the inning is over. But 2-out Lightning strikes again for Hutchinson. A walk to Caden Doge and a 2-run opposite field home run by Wyatt Davis. We've completed 2 in Wichita. We're now tied 2-2. Neosho County with 2 in the top of the first. The Dragons on the Wyatt Davis 2-run home run in the second. Knotted up at 2, so we head to the third. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you here on the Blue Dragons Sports Network. Brandon Sands and Nathan Light over on the stream just to our left. We appreciate all their hard work all throughout this tournament and throughout the year. This has been a very successful year on the network as we've switched technologies and We've gotten a lot better this year, and Brandon really deserves a lot of the credit, and I thank him so much for all that hard work. Nate Crossman, the lead off the third for the Panthers at the top of the order. Crossman, Norlin, and Minik. David Tudhope, after giving up back-to-back doubles, is kind of locked in. He went 2 doubles and a hit batter, and then has retired 5 out of 6 with a double play. Strike 1 to Crossman.
Carp, that home run by Divis, if memory serves me correctly, is the first one in 4 games now, or the 4th game here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium for the Blue Dragons.
Ground ball to Cooper, and there's one away. First home run here in Wichita. That is the 6th home run of the tournament overall. Dragons now have 3 postseason home runs. Delgay and Morgenson hit home runs against Labette.
But this is a team that led the conference, was 4th in the country with 91 home runs. And they went their first 3 games here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium without getting one out of the yard.
You know, Friday night the wind was blowing in. And again, this plays a little bit longer. It's ball 1 to Norlin. Up the middle. Helmut gets to it and knocks it down. That'll be a base hit.
That was going to be a tough play for Michael, even if he fields it cleanly. The ball just scoots so much quicker on this turf. It's going to bring up Cooper Minik. Minik was hit by a pitch in the first. Norlin, the runner at first. 1 away. Tudhope tosses it over. Wanting to keep Norlin honest. They'd put an error on the board for Helmut on that play, and Steve Carpenter checked out for a moment to go over. Steve is the official scorer for this tournament, so he went to correct that, make sure they knew it was going to be an infield hit and not an error.
So I haven't changed the scoreboard, so between innings I'll go back and change it. 3 hits now for Neosho County. Move over to first. Josh Norlin, let's check his stolen base numbers. 10 out of 13. Neosho County as a team has stolen 40 out of 55. The pitch. Upstairs for a ball, 2-0. Wind in the pitch. Fly down the left field line. This is trouble. That just lands foul. Wow.
Was not foul by much.
That likely would have scored Norlin, who's very fast. Minik returns now with a 2-1 count. Wow, how about that? Former Blue Dragon Conference Player of the Year, Thad Weber, checking in on Twitter. There's a swing and a miss by Minik. A big wild swing, and it's 2-2. Good to hear from Thad. He threw one of the most dominant 1-0 games in Blue Dragon history against Labette in 2006. Threw a 3-hit shutout, none of the balls left the infield. The pitch, well hit ball down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. And it's a foul ball. Wow.
Just foul.
Didn't miss by much. So that's twice Minik has gone down the left field line and made the hearts of the Blue Dragon faithful stop.
All right, Mr. Carpenter, with which Major League team did Mr. Weber make his Major League debut?
I believe it was the Detroit Tigers.
Nicely played.
The pitch. Just missed low. And so much from I thought about Randy Jordan giving corners and widening out the zone. That was a pretty good looking pitch. Now it's a full count to Minik. 1 out. Norlin probably will be moving on the pitch. He's edging out that lead, being held by Brady Hoover. Tudhope comes set. The pitch. Hit well again, but this one's going to go well foul into the Dragon pen. Minik, a 2-year starter for Steve Murray. He had a tremendous Region 6 tournament last year as the Panthers fell just short in returning to Grand Junction. Once again, the 3-2 popped up, foul territory, first base side. Hoover to the wall, and he dropped it. He lost it in the lights. He had to be looking right in that bank of lights.
I'm not so sure that didn't come down and get Hoove. Knocked his hat and his glasses off.
It did, but I guarantee there's a bank of lights he was looking right into. Ryan Schmidt
is going to go out and check on Hoover because the way that I think it came off his glove and may have caught him in the head, but he doesn't seem to be fazed by it.
Brady gives a tip of the cap to the crowd over there.
Brady's not the type of kid that's even if it did knock a few marbles around, he's not going to lead you to believe that. He's going to stay in the game.
Once again, the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball, deep, but playable, though, for Morgenson. He's got it. Norlin goes halfway and returns, and there's 2 out. Boy, the ball's got some jump, but that went more up than out.
That one did. After watching that one that went just foul, when he put a charge into that one and I looked up and found it in the dark sky, and I was surprised to look at Bobby, and Bobby was even coming in on it a little bit.
There's Tanner Ars, the designated hitter, reached on a fielder's choice. His first time up. Ted Hope's pitch. Took something off. Foul tipped off the mask of Wolverton. That's strike 1. Two-two the score. Dragons tied it up on a 2-run home run by Wyatt Divis. Norlin stretching out that lead a little bit. The pitch. There's a good pitch at the knees, inside corner, a strike, 0-2 to Arst. The pitch. Show pitch high and outside, 1-2. Pitch count for Ted Hope has reached 48. That's not a real good number through 2 2/3. But right now, Schmidt's going to have to ride him as long as he can. Breaking pitch hit high and deep to left field. Morgenson back. He's at the track, and it is way out of here. A 2-run home run for Tanner Arst, and Neosho County takes a 4-2 lead.
And Carp, that was one of those dreaded. Tuddy was up in the count 1-2. And to allow something to cover that much of the plate has come back to bite the Blue Dragon pitchers repeatedly throughout this season. Ryan Junker starting to toss in the Blue Dragon bullpen.
Arst with his 7th home run, 27th and 28th RBIs, and Nolan Beats will be the batter. He hits one to left field for a base hit. So that's 2 pitches right out over the plate by Ted Hope. 3 hits in the inning. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Aaron Dees. Dees struck out against Ted Hope to end the first. Ground ball up the first base line, fielded foul. That's the right call.
That's the right call. It is. Brady tried to get to it before it went foul to get the quick out. But the home plate umpire jumped out, had the look down the line, made the right call.
And just because Brady was completely in fair territory, it's not where he is when the ball is touched. It's where the ball is when it is touched. And it was clearly foul. There's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 0-2 to Dees.
Is this Alex or Aaron or Rick?
Yeah, don't get me started.
Or Sandra. It's the only one you haven't brought into the equation yet tonight.
0-2 pitch. Curveball. popped up, third base side foul territory. Doe Gay nearing the wall, and it drops foul.
Great effort by Caden. You know, we've talked throughout the tournament, there's an abundance of foul territory here, especially down the third base side, left field line. That one bounced in the field of play, but Caden, there's a little quirk in the wall over there that Caden has to be careful about. And
that's where the tarp used to be when this was an AstroTurf field and natural grass outfield, pitch in the dirt. Wolverton chases it down without any advancement, and it's 1-2. The Dragons once again have to battle back from a 2-run deficit. Dragons have been out hit 5-1. That pitch misses, and it's 2-2.
Watching the runner at first, Tuddy's move has impacted Neosho's leads to an extent, and Beats has more lean back to the bag than he does towards second.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But the 2-run home run by Tanner Arsh. 2 runs on 3 hit. There's 1 left after 2.5. It's Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Dragons battle back for the second time from a 2-run deficit. It'll be the bottom of the order and Brock Schaefer, and back to the top, and Cooper and Helmut. Brock Schaefer steps in, making his 23rd start. He's hitting .239 with 17 hits, home run and 7 RBIs, 3 doubles. And it just seems like he's hitting better than .239. That hit him? No, it did not.
No. Surprisingly, no. 0 for 3 in the first game, but reached twice via the hit by pitch or the Blue Dragon way.
That was for you, Coach Knack, by the way. Dan Nacarado celebrating his 86th birthday today, swinging a foul ball.
86 and holding.
Former Blue Dragon Zach Eaton checks in on Twitter. Thanks for all the play. It's great all the former players are checking in. That is awesome.
Well, we got another one out there, too, and we'll get to it right after this pitch. One that you're going to have a fond memory of.
The pitch. Hard hit ball, just foul outside of third.
Do you remember last year, bottom of the ninth, Dragons down 1, down to their last strike?
Might it be Bobby Malachy?
Bobby Malachy.
If you go to BlueDragonSports.com on the records page, there's a video, and you might see that home run, the pitch. Ground ball to second, charging his De La Torre. He's got it and throws Schaefer out for out number 1. Now it's back to the top, second time around against Alex DeBoard. Shane Cooper hit the ball hard right at the shortstop, Josh Norlin.
When Bobby sent that one out of the park, I think both of us came close to violating a number of FCC regulations with the excitement. And
that might have been the second loudest I ever got. The loudest, there's no doubt the loudest I got. 2010, right in this ballpark, in this very box. Ball 1 to Coop. Bottom of the 13th inning against Cowley after they just tied it up. Andrew Dixon scores from second on a wild pitch to end the game. Ball 2 now to Cooper. With the rebuilt website, and a lot of people may not know this, you can go back and take in-depth looks at the 2005 and 2010 teams. Big cut by Coop, foul back to the screen. It's 2-1. And there are the audio broadcasts from 2010 for several of those games. And you can hear my crazy call in the Cali game at the end of that particular broadcast. That was nuts. The pitch, a little bit upstairs from the board, 3-1. And I didn't mean to, lose it, but it was just in the moment. It was just one of those in-the-moment things.
Nothing but raw emotion.
Ball 4 to Coop. It's a one-out walk. Second walk surrendered by DeBoard. Now Michael Helmut steps up. The all-time Blue Dragon hits leader, the all-time Jayhawk Conference hits leader, and he has his own club, the 200 Hit Club.
That's right. It's pretty exclusive.
Pitch to Michael. It's up high, ball 1.
He got that via a bunt single earlier this afternoon.
Denny and I kindly refer to him as Gilligan. Let me tell you the story here. The pitch. Foul off to the right. We have teased Michael Helmut for 2 years about his how should we describe the walk-ups? Girly? Is that a decent way to describe it?
Oh, no question. No question. Some of the most feminine walk-up songs we've heard from any Blue Dragon or Hutchinson Monarch, which is really where this got the momentum, was during summer ball.
Pitch outside, a breaking pitch, and it's 2-1.
Feminine's not right. Girly, it's like, tweens.
Yes. Very, very Sabrina Carpenter-ish. There we go.
Yeah.
In that genre. And Danny and I decided to change it up one night. There's a strike at the knees to Helmut, and it's 2-2. We changed it to the theme from Gilligan's Island. And we've also used Laverne and Shirley. But when we did it, made the first change to Gilligan's Island, Michael went yard and that at bat. And ever since then, he's been known as Gilligan to us. Time called and granted to Helmut.
Yeah, during last summer's Monarch season, Laverne and Shirley, the Andy Griffith Show, a number of classic songs that
Helmut stays alive with a foul ball back to the screen. I think we need to throw the theme from SWAT. If you remember that show.
I do.
We need to throw that in on somebody this year.
But you know what's disheartening about doing a lot of this is we do these and we're in the press box just rolling, having a great time, and we go down after the game to the kids and they're like, what was that one?
Here's the pitch. That's a fly ball down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul.
Now their parents can relate to them.
Yes.
Speaking of nip games, we've got Bobby Morgenson on deck, and Bobby's been christened the Bus. And Bobby's a big kid, don't get me wrong. 6'4", 200, freshman from Omaha. But the Bus has nothing to do with Bobby's size.
The pitch, foul off again to the right.
And we're not going to tell you the story because what we really want you to do is reach out to Bobby, or if you're friends with Bobby, or when Bobby's home a little bit this summer when he's got some downtime before playing for the Monarchs. I want you to, Bobby, why do they call you the Bus? We think it do Bobby some good to tell you the story himself.
Assistant AD Scott Brooks now knows the story of the pitch. Spoiled again by Helmut, and he remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yoshio County plays straight away in the outfield, very shallow in right field. Michael can shoot that way when needed. Time called again by Helmut. This is becoming elongated at bat.
Carp, I'm not going to tell you where this tweet comes from, but somebody out there is asking if you've got any chocolate pudding up here.
Hi, Stu. Called strike 3 at the knees, and there's 2 away. Former Dragon Alex Stewart. Now 2 away for Bobby Morgenson. I'm going to get you for that one, Stewie.
Michael Helmut goes down on strikes for only the 13th time this season in 226 at-bats.
That's an amazing number.
And that one he went down looking. I'd love to know on that breakdown of those 13 how many were looking or swinging, because I would imagine
Ball 1 to Morgenson.
that going down looking, that backwards K is one of very, very few.
The 4th of the year.
4th of the year. Pretty impressive. That's why you're hitting 500.
He will be in the hunt for National Player of the Year honors as well as conference and region. Strike at the knees to Morgenson, and it's 1-1. Conference and region awards come out Wednesday, day before the national track meet begins at Gallon Stadium. Coop leads away from first to pitch. High pop into shallow left near the line. Crossman has it measured, and the Dragons are done in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, a walk, and 1 left on base. The Dragons leave their first runner on, have just 1 hit through 3 innings against the board. We head to the 4th. Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Top of the 4th rolls around 4-2 Neosho County. Joe Mondragon will be the batter. They announced Aaron Dees. It's Mondragon, Clark, and De La Torre, the bottom 3 of the Panther order. Joe Mondragon struck out his first time against David Tudhope, and Tuddy starts him off with ball 1. First 3 innings in the books for Tuddy. 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit batter, and 1 home run. 1 bunted foul.
Coach Knack, if you're tuned in right now, Aaron Probanic's throwing happy birthday your direction. Says you don't look a day over 85. Aaron may not have seen you lately, though.
Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch misses away, 2-1. Pribby, one of the many Blue Dragons that made their way up Highway 81 and took a right turn at York into Lincoln. Thad Weber another. Still 1 Blue Dragon left on the Husker roster. Jake Schleppenbach swinging a miss, and it's 2-2. Tuddy in the wind. Ground ball right back to Tuddy. Glances off his glove. And runner safe at first. That'll be an error charged to Tudhope.
We looked at each other and debated that one, just hit or error, but it wasn't hit that sharply. And Tuddy was in pretty good fielding position.
Now Will Clark, the third baseman, he walks, shows bunt, drops it down. Back to Tudhope. He spins and throws to first. The sacrifice works, 1-3. Neosho County will bunt as much as any team in not only the Jayhawk, but in the nation. They love to run the safety squeeze. Mondragon moves up to second, one out for the 9-hole hitter Caleb De La Torre, who hit into a 3-6-3 double play back in the second. Steve Murray has been at Neosho County a long time and built a very strong program. Breaking pitch in the dirt.
All quiet in the Blue Dragon bullpen right now. Ryan Junker was up throwing earlier. He's taken the seat.
If there are any more former Blue Dragons listening in, get on Twitter and let us know. We're having a blast with that tonight. Here's the pitch. Slider just misses a little bit low, 2-0.
And those of you guys who are watching it, we thank you for watching and still supporting your Blue Dragons. Let your buddies know the game's on and have them check it out.
Mondragon away from second. The pitch misses low, 3-0. Pitch counted now at 65 for David Tudhope, 41 for strikes. Tudhope started the year as the midweek starter and then worked his way into the weekend rotation, has been very strong in conference play. The pitch. 4-pitch walk to De La Torre, and now you worry a little bit because it's back to the top of the order of Nate Crossman.
And that's not what you want to do with the 9-hole hitter. And on that cue, Junker's back up and throwing. So
Nate Crossman 1 for 2, double and a run scored in the first, and a 6-3 ground out to start the third. Another ground ball right to Cooper. Wouldn't be a bad thing right now if you're a Hutchinson fan. The pitch. Outside for ball one. That's 5 in a row out of the zone for David Tudhope. The Dragons have turned 4 double plays in the postseason, all 4 here in Wichita. The pitch. That straight snaps on the pitch at the knees outside corner, and it's 1-1 to Crossman. Crossman shows bunt, pitch outside, 2-1. So down 4-2. Dragons really can't afford to fall too much further behind.
Dragons' bats have been pretty quiet through the first 3 innings. Only 1 hit, that being the 2-run home run by Wyatt Divis.
There's a strike, and count runs to 2-2.
Got to be paying attention with Randy Jordan behind the plate there. He doesn't give you the quickest signal on the strike.
That double by Crossman in the first was his first hit of the tournament. He's 1 for 12. And pitch just misses low. And the count's full. Pitch count now to 71. Here's the payoff. Fly ball to center. Hackle back a couple of steps now in. Tries to get behind the ball just in case Mondragon tried to tag. He doesn't. And there's 2 out here in the 4th. So another 2-out situation, and a very tough hitter in Josh Norlin. 2 for 2. RBI double and a run scored in the first. A single and a run scored in the third. Norlin now in the tournament, 6 for 11.
Came into the game hitting .403, and that's done nothing but go up with his effort here this evening.
Tudhope's delivery, a slider for strike 1.
So what do you think, Carp? Neosho's in the orange tops, orange bottoms. Do we need to go to Coach Schmidt and talk red tops, red bottoms?
That looked classy. You know we're going to lose that battle, though. Here's the pitch. In on the hands, pulled foul. Oh, a Jamil Cervantes moment at first base by the Neosho County coach. Well, did he look up here?
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, yeah. For those of you tuning in, when the first base coach, really any base coach, attempts to field a foul grounder and fails at it miserably, that is what's known as a Cervantes.
Pitch in the dirt, and it kicks away from Wolverton. And wild pitches continue to hamper this Blue Dragon team. Wolverton had no chance at that slider that bit at about 55 feet. Ted Hope uncorks his 9th wild pitch of the year, the 83rd by the Blue Dragons. And now Ryan Schmidt is going to have one of those one-on-one conversations with the entire infield. So 4-2 Panthers lead. The difference in the game is Tanner Ar's 2-run home run in the top of the third. And now the Panthers threaten again with Mondragon at third, De La Torre at second, 2 out, and Josh Norlin the batter. Although Ted Hope ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, Carr, big night in baseball. Yankee Stadium retiring number 2, Derek Jeter's uniform number. And in between games, ran and grabbed a bite to eat and had a chance to watch the first half inning of the Yankees hosting the Houston Astros. And the Astros were less than accommodating guests as they hit 3 home runs and put 6 on the board in the top of the first inning.
1-2 pitch from Ted Hope. Hard hit ball. Cooper gobbles it up. On to first in time, and the inning is over. Mark that play down. That ball was scorched by Norlin, but the All-American Cooper equal to the task. Neosho Strand's 2 in scoring position. We've completed 4, or check that. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. And once again, Denny Steckline and I would love to tell all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day, especially all those baseball moms who take their kids all over, practices, games all over the summer. Hope everybody's had a great Mother's Day and a very pleasant Mother's Day to my mom up in Aurora, Nebraska, who I know is listening in, and my wife Tina up in Hutchinson. She's had the grandkids all day, so I'm sure she has had a handful with that 2-year-old of ours. Nolan Hackle to lead off the 4th. We Hackle, Hoover, and Doge, 4, 5, and 6 here in the bottom of the 4th for the Dragons. Hackle hits one to center field, coming on is decent. It drops in for a hit. So Nolan Hackle, a good start for the Dragons. He has his 8th hit of the postseason.
Carp, I know you've told your boys, and I've told my boys how they need to count their blessings and don't realize how fortunate they are to have a mom who loves the game of baseball and doesn't mind sitting in the bleachers for hours on end on all those weekend tournaments.
Big swing and a miss by Hoover. It's 0-1. Hoover's first time out, grounded out to second.
I want to give a shout out to Keisha Hilty. She's got the best birthday of the year. And she should be doing some other things right now, but she's watching Blue Dragon baseball. And we appreciate that.
She's getting ready to head down to
Clinton, Mississippi.
Clinton, Mississippi. I was going to say Meridian. It's Clinton, Mississippi in the D2 National Tournament with the Cali Tigers. Best of luck to them. Cali defeated Hutchinson in the regional final. Hutchinson's first trip in softball to the regional tournament final in 30 years. Called strike 3. Hoover didn't think so, but it looked like a pretty good pitch. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4th strikeout for DeBoard. And 3 of the 4 called thirds. Now Caden Doge, who walked and scored his first time up.
Since Brady doubled to lead off the earlier game today, he's gone down in 7 straight at bats, so he's not seeing the ball well at the plate right now.
Caden couldn't check his swing and goes around for strike 1. Dragon fans not in agreement. Game 4, I think things are getting a little testy downstairs.
Well, when it becomes a do-or-die situation and you can see the, for both of these teams, the end of the season is on the horizon. And for one of them, it's going to come in about 5 innings. And neither of these crowd fan bases wants it to be their team.
0-2 pitch way outside. Minik thought about snapping the first. Minik has 1 pickoff here in the tournament. It came in day number 1 against Barton. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. And there's 2 away. That's 5 strikeouts. I'd still love to see what DeBoard's measuring on the gun. That fastball is very lively, and it's kind of exploding on the back end. The Dragons, outside of Wyatt Davis, really haven't caught up to it. Only 2 hits for Hutchinson.
The last time Davis came up, the Blue Dragons were down 2. They're down 2 now.
2 outs.
2 outs. Runner on base.
Davis takes strike 1.
I don't know about you, but I'd take the same result as we saw the last time.
I'd be good with that. Hutch has been out hit 5-2 now. DeBoard's pitch. Hit well down the left field line, but it's going to slice foul and off the roof of the batting cages. And Davis in an 0-2 hole.
Great to see some
hard hit ball.
We'll get back to it.
Fielded by De La Torre. He goes to Norlin for the force. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and 1 left on. We've completed 4 here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium in Wichita. Hutchinson trails Neosho County 4-2. One thing we do know, Denny Steckline, is that the Cali Tigers will be the undefeated team. They defeated Johnson County 10-6 in the winners bracket final tonight. So Johnson County will get the winner of this game tomorrow at 4, and then the winner of that game has to defeat Cali twice to get to Grand Junction. Cooper Minich will lead it off here in the top of the 5th.
Well, defeating Cali twice is something the Blue Dragons have done this season, so I would like their chances if they could get to that point.
Ryan Junker again starts popping up in the pen. There's a fly ball left field. Morgenson drifting back. He's got it measured for out number 1. Minik now 0 for 2, and it's been hit by a pitch. One away for the designated hitter, Tanner Arston. Right now, he is the difference in the ballgame. A 2-run home run with 2 out in the third, and it came on a 1-2 pitch. Arst 1 for 2. And he takes outside ball 1 from Tudhope. David Tudhope now through 4 1/3, 5 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 wild pitch, and 1 hit batsman. That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Got good crowds on both sides of the ballpark tonight. A lot of orange behind the first base dugout. A lot of blue and red on the third base side. Great to see some Blue Dragon soccer and Blue Dragon softball players joining us at Lawrence-Dumont tonight.
2-2 pitch, got him swinging, and that's 2 away. Going to bring up Nolan Beats, bases empty, 2 away. Beats 1 for 1. He had a sac fly to make it 2-0 in the first and singled in the third. Beats now 5 for 12 here in Wichita. Little squibber off the end of the bat toward Helmut. He field flips in a very quick, efficient 1-2-3 fifth inning for David Tudhope. A fly out, a strikeout, and a 1-pitch ground out halfway through in this elimination game. Game number 12 at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. It's the Panthers 4 and the Dragons 2. Scott Wolverton leads out the bottom of the 5th. Dragons having to come back from a 2-run deficit for the second time tonight. Steve Carpenter and Denny Steckline with you. And a lot of people tuning in. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. There's Scotty Wolverton. Big cut and miss to open the 5th.
I don't know, the more people we get tweeting us and tuning in, Carp, it's putting the pressure on us to not only entertain but inform.
Well, I got the information, you got the entertainment. We're a pretty good team. The 0-1.
Former Blue Dragon Heath Gerstner touching base with us on Twitter. Heath was the coach at Junction City High School, now at McPherson High School.
Wolverton down in the count, 0-2.
I think he's got
into the wind.
He's got a vested interest on both of these teams. So the way you look at it, I guess he can't win or he can't lose. But even with that, I'd like to see the Blue Dragons come out on top.
1-2 the count to Wolverton. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Called strike 3. That is 3 strikeouts in the last 4 batters for DeBoard. Let's check his numbers up to date. 4 in the third innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks. And now 68 pitches. And Brock Schaefer will be the batter.
It's definitely a wider plate than what we've seen in previous games. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's not a criticism of the umpire because it's been consistently wider. And, you know, consistency is all you can ask for.
Randy Jordan consistently has one of the bigger zones in the region. The pitch. Strike at the knees. That's pitch number 70 for DeBoard.
Both bullpens quiet at the moment.
Schaefer takes one inside and is ahead in the count, 2-1. Schaefer from right just east of here in Andover. So I'm sure he's got some family and friends in town. Hard hit ball, but well foul into the Hardball Cafe. And it's 2-2. Former AD Randy Stang is checked in tonight via the text. Kyle Crooks also checking in. Watching the Blue Dragons rooting us on. Appreciate you, Crooksy. Change up swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove, caught by Minik, and there's one away. Crooksy, a Blue Dragon Quarterback Club Hall of Famer, inducted the year before last. Back to the top of the order. Now we'll see it third time around. Turns out to be for the Dragons against Alex DeBoard. Cooper has lined out and walked. There's strike one. Of course, Kyle Crooks, the author of the 2 Region 6 championship teams that made their way to Grand Junction. That pitch is high for a ball, 1-1. On that, I have mentioned this play maybe a million times this year, but the infamous wild pitch from Andrew Dixon against Cali back in 2010. The weird thing was Dixon took third. The ball was bouncing around back here. It's very quirky in these corners behind home plate. Ray Otero had the ball stuck. The pitch, 3-1 to Cooper. Kyle Crooks is pointing home, but he's pointing home saying, hey, the ball's stuck, walk my boy in. Dixon just took off, thinking that Crooksy was sending him, and that's how the play happened. 3-1 to Cooper. Michael Helmut on deck. Base is empty, 2 away, the pitch. Well hit to center field, but on the run is Dees. He dives and it's a trap. That's a base hit for Cooper. Third base umpire Nate Garrison said it was a trap, so the Dragons have life here in the 5th. Just the 3rd hit of the game for the Blue Dragons. Now Michael Helmut. Michael has had a tough day. Only 2 hits in 7 at-bats today. 2 hits in 8 at-bats. So he's due. He takes outside ball 1.
Michael struck out looking his last at-bat. Only the 4th time this season that's happened, and that's going to prompt a visit from the Neosho dugout.
So the Dragons trail 4-2. Cooper at second here, 2 away. A little loud country music going on the sound system. That woke everybody up in the ballpark. It's just after 10 p.m.
Somebody discovered the volume button.
It's funny how things are a little bit louder when I'm not over there.
I just hope you got them lined out because in our previous game, the 7th inning stretch was minus.
Take me out to the ball game. I did not talk to him. I need to go over. Ball 2 to Helmut low. Now Panther fans chirping at Randy Jordan a little bit.
It's got to be a good sign to an umpire. If both teams are chirping at you, you're doing your job.
That's right. You're totally noticed by both teams. You've done your job. 3-0 to Helmut now. Bobby Morgenson's on deck, and there's the young man who's due. Here's the cripple. Swinging 3-0, ground ball to Norlin at short. To flip the second for the force, and the inning is over. So the Dragons squander a 2-out hit from Cooper. We've completed 5 here in Wichita. Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. David Tudhope has battled into the 6th. He trails Neosho County 4-2. The difference right now, Tanner Arsh 2-run home run in the 3rd. Here's Aaron Deese, the center fielder. A slider for a strike. Deese has struck out twice, both swinging against Tudhope. He's now up to 84 pitches, 53 for strikes. Fastball a little bit low, and it's 1-1.
Carp, since you've struggled with Mr. Deese's first name this evening, his hometown is listed as New Strawn, Kansas.
I've never heard of it. Guessing southeast corner.
East Central.
East Central?
Coffee County.
Okay.
And I'll admit, like yourself, I had never heard of New Strawn, Kansas.
Deese grounds out to Michael Helmut for out number 1. That is now 6 in a row retired by David Tudhope. So here's Joe Mondragon. 0 for 2. Struck out and reached on an error by David Tudhope. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 4 left on for Neosho County. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left on for the Blue Dragons. Slider for strike. Pitch foul back. Tuddy, one of the undecided, and correct me if I'm wrong, he is one of the undecided sophomores, has not claimed his next stop, has he, Denny?
Not to my knowledge. Your assessment of that is accurate as far as I know.
Only 4 that I know. Or, I'm sorry, 3 that I know. The pitch. Outside, 1 and 2. Nolan Hoffman, Michael Helmut going to Texas A&M, and Caden Doge to Tulane. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, outside corner. That's 2 away. David Tudhope now with his 5th strikeout. And he's retired now 6-7 in a row. And here's Will Clark, the third baseman, walked and sacrificed. So no official time at bat yet in 2 plate appearances. Pitch misses outside, a changeup. That's ball 1.
Just glancing down our Blue Dragon roster, Carp, to see if there's anybody else whose name jumps out at me that we know what they're doing, and I don't believe there is at this point. There may be some young men who've made up their minds and just haven't revealed that information yet, but I know there are a lot of opportunities knocking for several of them.
Ground ball to the right side past Helmut. It's a 2-out single going the opposite way for Clark. Neosho County's 6th hit off of Tudhope. Also checking in tonight via the text, Delana Crooks, wife of Kyle Crooks. Great to hear from the Crookses, who have a pretty good thing going at Central Missouri State. There's 9-hole hitter Caleb De La Torre. 0 for 1, a double play and a walk. Slider for a strike from David Tudhope, who is probably throwing almost exclusively slider changeup right now, especially to the left-handed hitters of the Panthers. Challenge De La Torre with the fastball and on the hands, and De La Torre fights it off, and it's 0-2.
A little bit of pucker factor for Blue Dragon photographer Ali Schweitzer down there. She saw that thing and has that high-dollar camera in her hands, and she was making sure she was getting out of the way of that foul ball.
Did he go around? He foul-tipped in the glove of Wolverton. That's a strikeout, and that is now 8 in a row retired by David Tudhope. And the
outside
Panthers,
of that
I'm sorry,
single,
single. That's right. My bad. 8 of 9. Boy, got to stop. I need a break. We go to the bottom of the 6th, though, as Denny keeps me straight here in the press box. Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Josh Gooch coming into the box, trying to fire everybody up. He's got the broadcast crew ready to go. Dragons trail 4-2, bottom of the 6th. It's Morgenson, Hackle, Hoover, 3-4-5, due up against Alex DeBoard. The winner moves on to tomorrow. The loser ends their season. There's a shot to right center field on the run, and making the catch
nice snag.
is Nolan Beats, who was shaded toward the gap. Morgenson couldn't hit it much harder, but he becomes the first out of the 6th inning on a fine play by Nolan Beats.
That had extra bases written all over it. As deep as the fences are here at Lawrence-Dumont, that easily could have been thinking triple on that if Bobby gets that one to the turf.
Here's Nolan Hackle. That's up the middle and will sneak through for a base hit. Hackle's second of the game. So 2 swings allowed out, now a single. The tying run comes to the plate, and Brady Hoover, who is due.
Brady is due. 7 straight at-bats where he's had one sharp liner that the second baseman snagged in the game earlier this afternoon, but outside of that, he needs to square one up.
The pitch. Outside for a strike. One thing the Dragons haven't done, and they haven't had much opportunity with not a lot of base runners, is try to crank up the running game. Decent lead over at first by Hackle. The pitch. High for a ball.
We were talking during the break, Carp. DeBoard entered this inning with a pitch count of 82, and if the Dragons could get him deep in some counts, you'd think we'd be an inning or 2 away from getting into the Neosho bullpen, but Morgenson first pitch swinging and Hackle first pitch swinging.
The pitch. In for a strike, and it's 1-2. You mentioned it earlier. I don't think you're right. I don't think Brady's seen the ball very well right now.
Now they're living on the outside corner against him, and he's not pulling the trigger on it. We've got Dayton Lane warming up in the Blue Dragon bullpen.
1-2 pitch, swings and misses on a changeup, and there's
not
2 away.
Not a good swing by Brady.
So now Caden Doge. obvious power threat has either a small aircraft or a scooter just went past the ballpark on McLean. You see that at McLean here all the time.
We heard the motorcycles earlier today. This might have been the mopeds.
Fly ball to right field, playable for Beats. And he's got it. And the Dragons were not very patient at all in that inning. No runs, a hit, one left. We head to the seventh here in Wichita. It's Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. We head to the final 3 innings of regulation play here in game number 12. The Region 6 tournament. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. And David Tudhope faces the top of the order here in the 7th. 4-2 Neosho County. Nate Crossman 1 for 3. And he starts off with the strike. Tudhope has retired 8 in a row, as that pitch count now has climbed to 97. That pitch rolling in. Crossman's first inning double was his first hit of the tournament. He is now 1 for 14 here in Wichita into Neosho County's 4th game. Hard hit ball, and there's hit number 2.
You jinxed it, Carp.
Just stating facts. Leadoff single for Crossman. Once again, as I said earlier, Neosho County, one of the best bunt teams, not only in the Jayhawk, but in the country. Josh Norlin, the batter. 2 for 3. An RBI double in the second, a single and a run scored in the third. Caden Delgay tied at third. Brady Hoover holding the runner on at first. Norlin Isho but drops it foul along first. And that was pitch number 100 for David Tudhope. 65 have been in the zone, which is about right where you want to be, 65, 70% of your total pitches for strikes. The pitch. That one's bunted along third, but foul, 0-2. Neosho County took a 2-0 lead in the first inning. An RBI double by Josh Norlin and a sac fly by Nolan Beats. The Dragons tied it up in the bottom of the second on Wyatt Divis's 2-run opposite field home run. But then Tanner Arst gave Neosho County the current scorer 4-2 lead with a 2-run home run in the third. Ground ball, Helmut has it, flips to Cooper for 1, on to first, and that's a double play.
Nicely turned up the middle.
Dragons turn their second double play of the game, their 5th of the postseason. And it goes 4-6-3, and its base is empty. 2 away for Cooper Minik. Minik 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. 2 flyouts to left field. Hit a couple long drives that were foul and hits a sky-high one to left. Coming in is Morgenson. Near the line, he's got it, and the inning is over.
Another quick inning for Tuddy.
7th inning stretch time here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Our score, Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Dragons hit home half of the 7th inning, trailing Neosho County 4-2. It's been that way since the 3rd. It will be Wyatt Divis, Scott Wolverton, and Brock Schaefer, the lower third of the order, against Alex DeBoard, who is now up to 88 pitches on the count. DeBoard, 4 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Wyatt Divis, a 2-run home run and reached on a fielder's choice. And he takes ball 1 to start the 7th.
Dragons down to their last 3 at-bats, trailing here by 2.
Outside 2-0.
Very different approach this after 2 pitches in the last at-bat for the Blue Dragons. They'd recorded an out and had a base hit.
2-0 swinging. Divis fouls it off to the left. He still has the advantage of the count at 2-1. Dragons just 4 hits off the board. 2 of those from Nolan Hackle.
Still no activity and no one in the Neosho bullpen. So Panther coach Steve Murray at this point deboarded his guy, and he's going to ride him as long as he can.
2-2 now to Divis. DeBoard into the wind. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's 9 strikeouts. This has been a tremendous offensive year for Hutchinson, but if there's one number that has really hackled head coach Ryan Schmidt, it's the total number of strikeouts, which now has reached 420 for the year. There's Scott Wolverton swinging and missing at that first offering from DeBoard, who continues to have a very electric fastball. Swing and a miss. That was a bit of an off-speed pitch, and Wolverton down in the count 0-2. Want to make a point on Bobby Morgenson's last at-bat. Circle that at-bat. Bobby's going to get one more crack in this one. And that was a pretty good swing, and normally Bobby will put a lot of good swings together, so that potentially coming up here the next time we see Bobby Morgenson. Jenny Friedendahl coming in on Twitter. That is the wife of former coach. Oh, Sasha Sanguinetti rings Wolverton up on a check down, and there's 2 away. Jenny Friedendahl is the wife of former Blue Dragon pitching coach Craig Friedendahl. So that's 2 consecutive strikeouts, now 10-4 DeBoard. And Brock Schaefer, the batter, he's 0 for 2. A ground out in the strikeout. There's a ball pulled foul.
Ball and a bat. He lost his grip on the bat, Schaefer did.
Sent
it back to the screen.
That's the 5th time today a batter has lost the bat. I was kind of joking yesterday when I got hit by that foul ball that I mentioned the disclaimer I always say, be aware of flying objects. And there have been a lot of flying objects today. The 0-1. High pop into foul territory.
It's playable.
Mondragon has it measured, and it's a quiet 7th inning for Hutchinson. 2 strikeouts and a foul out. But the top of the order coming back around in the 8th inning. We head to the 8th. Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 2. Getting into the late stages here, Dragons trail Neosho County 4-2. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you. And another tweet coming in from Nancy Pope. That is the mom of Blue Dragons softball third baseman Cameron Pope. And Nancy, I do want to have a quick chat with you.
Hey, Cameron Pope, was that one when I was in the press box yesterday and that foul ball came in?
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't know where the girls went, and then we found a couple of them hiding under a table because that screaming foul ball.
That'd be the one, yes. 0-1 to Tanner Arst. Now it's 0-2. And David Tudhope has gotten stronger. He's allowed just 2 hits, since the 4th inning. Pitch way outside. 1-2 to Arst. And right now, Arst is the difference in the game. His 2-run home run in the 3rd. One-two pitch. Slice foul. You think back at David Tudhope's effort tonight, which has been tremendous. Maybe 4 mistake pitches, and that those 4 mistakes cost him. 1-2 pitch. Tied him up, but he checked his swing, and it's 2-2 to Arst.
When you look back at the beginning of the game for Tuddy, where they went double hit by pitch, the first 3 batters of the game, Neosho getting 2 runs in that first, and then just the 1 bad pitch on a 1-2 count.
Got him swinging on a high fastball. 1 away here in the 8th.
1-2 pitch to Arst that he deposited over the left field fence. That's right now the difference in the game.
Now 7 strikeouts for David Tudhope. It's 1 away for right fielder Nolan Beats. He takes outside for a ball. Beats so far 1 for 2. He had a sacrifice fly in the 1st and a 3rd inning single. Foul tipped in the glove of Wolverton, and it's 1-1. And 1 foul back. David Tudhope ties his career high with 7 strikeouts. He had 7 strikeouts against Longview on April 22nd. Matched that in his next start against Pratt. Here's the 1-2. Whoa, where did that one miss? A little bit low. 1 and 2.
Covered a lot of the plate, but yeah, that's the one thing we have a hard time with up here is where they're at in the zone in terms of up and down.
2-2 pitch, hit the center field. Got that pitch up. And deposits it into center field for Neosho County's 8th hit of the game. 1 on, 1 out for center fielder Aaron Dees. Dees 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. The Dragons have turned 2 double plays. Third one looked pretty good right here. Tuddy comes set and delivers. Slider for a strike. That was pitch number 115 for David Tuddy. Slider lifted to center field. Back goes Hackle. Still going back. And he chases it down just short of the track.
Outstanding catch by Nolan Hackle. He had everything going.
That's 2 outs. And by and large, this Dragon outfield has been a tremendous defensive outfield all year. Nolan Hackle continues to impress in center. And we've seen Brock Schaefer make several WEM gems here in the postseason. Now 1 on 2 away for Joe Mondragon, the first baseman. Mondragon struck out looking his first time up. He's 0 for 3. And Tuddy starts him off with strike 1.
Nothing but goose eggs on the scoreboard for both teams over the last 4 innings.
The pitch. That misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Tremendous effort by Tuddy tonight. You'd love to see the Dragons, who are down to their final 2 at-bats, give him some run support and try to make this effort really pay off for the lefty.
They're going to have an outstanding opportunity to do just that with the top of the order coming up.
Popped up in the infield. Kalen Doge got it, and that's the inning. So the inning really turned on the tremendous running catch by Nolan Hackle off the bat of Aaron Dees. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Panthers 4 and the Dragons 2. Two more at-bats for Hutchinson, and they have the top of the order coming up against Alex DeBoard. 4-2 Neosho County leading Hutchinson in this elimination game. The winner gets Johnson County tomorrow at 4 p.m. here at Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. Shane Cooper 1 for 2. He's been on base twice. He singled in the 5th, walked in the 3rd. It's Cooper, Helmut, and Morgenson. Ball 1 to Coop. That was the 100th pitch by DeBoard. Coop taking all the way. Takes a strike at the knees, 1-1. Still nothing doing in the Neosho County pen. This game is in the hands of Alex DeBoard.
Although there are some bodies down there now, which is more than they've had to this point in the game.
Ball 2 a little bit outside.
One of them starting to do some stretching against the fence. So you've got to think that if DeBoard has a number, or if Coach Murray has a number in mind for DeBoard, they're approaching it. But he'd love to ride this one all the way if he can.
Coop slices that one foul, and it's 2-2.
We talked before the game that from the Blue Dragon perspective, they were going to need somebody to eat a lot of innings. And, you know, kudos to David Tudhope for the work he's done tonight in doing just that.
Here's the 2-2 to Coop. Way outside, full count. Dragons need a base runner. According to the stats, really no set closer for Neosho County. They only have 5 saves for the year. High chopper to the left side, fielded by the third baseman, Clark. He pours it over to first, and time went away. Coop 1 for 3, and that'll bring up Michael Hellman. 0 for 3 tonight. A flyout, struck out looking, and reached on a fielder's choice to end the 5th. First pitch swing, ground ball to short. Big hop by Norlin. He drops the ball, and there's a break for the Dragons.
Is that going to open the door? And are the Dragons going to be able to take advantage of that?
That'll be the first error of the game on the Panthers. So they get their break, and now we'll see if my thought about Bobby Morgenson pans out. Each team now with 1 error. Morgenson hit the ball hard. Cuts at that one and fouls it off. Morgenson 0 for 3. He was robbed of extra bases by Nolan Beats to lead off the 6th.
Beats is playing him towards that right center field gap.
High fly ball out of play to the left, and Morgenson hits from an 0-2 hole.
Love to see Bobby turn on one, and you've got to think if he gets it down there in that corner, Hellman's going to score. Bobby's going to get at least 2, probably 3.
That left center gap is very inviting. Morgenson, another one who likes to deposit balls in that gap. The pitch misses a little bit low, 1-2. Probably not in a position to run for Helmut. He has 30 steals on the year. The pitch. Took something off of it, and he swings through it and strikes out for out number 2. 11 strikeouts now for DeBoard, and Nolan Hackle will be the batter. Hack, his last 2 at-bats, both singles. He's 2 for 3. Here in Wichita, Hackle now 8 for 16. And in the postseason, 9 for 25. He swings and misses at that. DeBoard offering for strike 1. Now you might see Helmut possibly go in this at bat. Still unlikely. There's a swing and a miss on a changeup, and Hackle's down to the count 0-2. And just like David Tudhope, Alex DeBoard getting stronger as the evening wears on. Here's the 0-2 to Hackle. That one's driven toward the gap, left center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Helmut flying. He heads around third, and this is going to be a 1-run game. Now they throw behind Hackle. He's in safely, and the Dragons now trail it 4-3. Hackle's third hit of the game. A double RBI, and that error does come back to haunt Neosho County. Now the tying run in scoring position with 2 out, and Brady Hoover the batter. Boy, what a time for Hoove to break out of a slump.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Carp. I've got a good feeling about Brady in this at-bat. Brady, being a Wichita native, a Mays High School product, does not want his Blue Dragon career to end on this kind of a note. I think he's going to be pretty determined up here.
Righty-righty matchup. The pitch is slice foul out of play.
Nice hack by Brady. Took a good cut at it.
4-3 the score now. Dragons get one of them back. They still have another at bat to go. DeBoard comes set, checks Hackle at second, and delivers. Outside to Hoover, 1-1. On pitch number 115 from Alex DeBoard. It is Hayden Weichman throwing in the pen for Neosho County. He's a right-hander.
He's only thrown probably 2 or 3 pitches, so he's going to be a ways away yet.
High chopper that fielded by DeBoard. He throws the first in time. Boy, if that gets over his head, that's going to be a tough play. But the Dragons get one back on the Nolan Hackle two-out double. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. We head to the ninth. Our new score, Neosho County 4 and Hutchinson 3. On to the ninth inning here in Wichita, game number 12 of the Region 6 tournament, an elimination game. Hutchinson trailing Neosho County 4-3. The Dragons getting one back in the bottom of the eighth. And now Ryan Schmidt turns the game over to Dayton Lane, the freshman out of College Station, Texas. Lane, 21st appearance, 3-1 record with a 3.41 ERA and a team-high 7 saves. Lane will get Clark, De La Torre, and Crossman 8-9-1 here in the Neosho County ninth. What an effort by David Tudhope. I hope he gets a no decision. It's ball 1 to Clark. He's 1 for 2 with the single his last time up in the sixth. Swing and a miss. 1-1. More numbers on Lane. 29 innings pitched, 28 hits, 14 runs, 11 earned, 34 strikeouts, and 16 walks.
It would be a shame for Tudhope to have to take a loss tonight with the effort he's put forth. But that's the way it sits currently.
Lane making his 4th postseason appearance. He's 1-0 with a 4.15 ERA. Making his 3rd appearance here in Wichita. No record, 2 innings pitched, and an ERA of 9. One-two pitch, hit him. Dayton Lane hits his 6th batter of the year, and that's a leadoff HBP but for Clark on a 1-2 pitch. So again, an advantage count that the Dragons can't finish. Now Caleb De La Torre, he was hit into a ground out, hit into a double play, walked and struck out. 0 for 2. Showing bunt, and it's outside ball 1. Caden Doge was in tight at 3rd. Brady Hoover holding the runner on at 1st. Again, Neosho County, one of the best bunt teams in the country. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch. Bunt is dropped foul.
The turf around home plate adds another dimension to the bunting game as well. We've seen some that have enough spin on them, they could be foul and work their way back fair, or vice versa. Scott Wolverton there backed away from it to make sure it got into foul territory before he touched it.
1-1 De La Torre. Showing bunt early this time. Strike on the outside corner, good pitch from Lane. Caden Doge not backing off, still even with the bag. Murray will bunt with 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Line drive into right field, that's a base hit. And it's 2 on to start the 9th for the Panthers. And it's back to the top of the order, so trouble brewing for the Dragons here in the 9th. Nate Crossman, the left fielder, 2 for 4. He will likely be bunting. Brady Hoover now off the bag, ready to charge. Lane comes set. Crossman shows bunt and takes high and tight, ball 1. Clark was hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count. And then another advantage count. De La Torre singled. 2 on, nobody out here in the 9th. 4-3, Dragons trail. Bunt to first, fielded by Hoover. His only play will be to first. Helmut keeps the bag, and the sacrifice works. 2 in scoring position with only 1 out for Josh Norlin, the shortstop. Norlin hit into a double play in the 7th. He's 2 for 4, RBI double in the first, a single and a run scored in the 3rd.
Dragons are going to gather at the mound with head coach Ryan Schmidt. Looked like they were probably going to pull the infield in, which I suspect is the approach they'll take. But Schmidt wants to get out there and make sure they're all on the same page.
Couple options here. First base is unoccupied. You can walk him and load the bases and set up the double play. We had an interesting moment in the game before this one. Johnson County wanted to have an intentional walk done, and initially they granted it just like the major leagues do now. But then it was decided that's not how you do it in college baseball. They had to come back and throw the pitches. And it was kind of confusing. And interestingly enough, the first pitch, from our perspective up here in the press box, actually looked like it crossed the plate for a strike. It was still called a ball.
It looked like it was over the plate. When the catcher's standing, it's a little hard to tell, but I would guess they probably, if it was high. But I did notice, too, on that intentional walk, the home plate umpire in that game was standing well off to the left. He was not lined up behind home plate as an umpire normally would be. What do you think of that rule, Carp, in Major League Baseball?
I don't like it.
I don't either.
Infield in for the Dragons, the pitch.
And I don't buy that it's to speed the game up, because when you look over the course of a season at the number of intentional walks, they average it out, they might shave a few seconds off the length of a game.
1-0 the count on a nice stop by Scott Wolverton. Infield in for the Dragons, outfield shallow. The pitch. Swung through that pitch and missed, and it's 1-1. Good off-speed pitch from Dayton Lane. There's a fly ball hit well to center field. This is going to be deep enough to score the one. Hackle still going back. He makes the catch. Tagging is Clark, and he will score. And once again, it's a 2-run deficit for the Dragons. Now trailing 5-3, a runner at third and 2 out.
De La Torre tagged up as well. Smart move on his part. Is now just 90 feet away from a 3-run Panther lead.
So now Cooper Minik. He takes strike 1. Big at bat here to keep this at a 2-run deficit. Minik, one of the best hitters in the league, one of the best clutch hitters in the league to go even further. Pitch outside for a ball. Just cannot let leadoff batters reach base and expect him not to score. Popped up in the infield, foul territory. Wolverton now backtracking near the plate. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. But a big run scores. A leadoff hit by pitch comes around to score on the Josh Norlin sac fly. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left on. We go to the 9th. Dragons have 1 more inning to keep the season alive. They trail Neosho County 5-3. Last time the Dragons had a 9th inning walk-off, Wyatt Davis's home run against Dodge City at Hobart Debtor Field. They're looking for 1 here. 3 outs away from the end of the season. Neosho County leads Hutch 5-3. Steve Carpenter, Denny Steckline with you on just an absolutely huge viewing audience tonight. And on behalf of Denny, thank you so much for tuning in. It'll be Caden Doge, Wyatt Davis, and Scott Wolverton against freshman Hayden Weichman. Weichman 1-1 record, 2 saves, a dazzling 1.8 ERA. 18th appearance, 30 innings pitched, 37 hits, 17 runs, only 6 earned runs given up, 15 strikeouts and 2 walks. He gets Doge, Davis, and Wolverton here in the 9th. As the Dragons are down to their final 3 outs of the season. A Jayhawk West championship season that they do not want to end here. Weichman's first delivery is low ball 1. Caden Doge, 4 hits this afternoon, 0 for 2 in this one. He walked in the 2nd and scored. The pitch. High pop in the infield right side. Mondragon gives way to the second baseman, De La Torre, and there's 1 away here in the 9th. Now Wyatt Davis, the batter. The Dragons need a base runner. You can't hit a 2-run home run with nobody on base.
Carp looking ahead on deck. I think we're going to have Marquise Doherty pinch hitting for Wolverton once Davis completes his appearance.
We sat in this position 1 year ago and watched Bobby Malachy hit a game-tying home run. Davis 1 for 3, a 2-run home run in the 2nd. Strike 1. Dragons got back within 1 in the 8th on the Nolan Hackle RBI double. Slice foul, and now it's 0-2 to Davis.
It was off the skybox to our left and landed in a duffel bag in the Blue Dragon dugout. Impressive cue shot off the bat of Davis. Rally hats are in order in the Blue Dragon dugout.
Here's the 0-2. Foul back. Divis spoils that offering. Good pitch from Weichman. Lower half of the outside corner. Divis fouls it off to stay alive at 0-2. The pitch. Got him swinging. Now the Dragons down to their final out. And it'll be Marquise Doherty, the pinch hitter, for Scott Wolverton. Marquise Doherty for the year. The transfer in from Missouri. 273 hitter, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs. As a pinch hitter, Doherty 1 for 6. Dragons just 8 for 40 in pinch hit situations this year, but it just takes one to get them going. Dragons down to their final out of the season. Big swing and a foul tip, 0-1 to Doherty. Tremendous effort tonight by David Tudhope, keeping the Dragons in the game. The pitch. They check down to Sasha Sanguinetti at first. Doherty checks his swing, and it's 1-1. One pitch. Foul back. Now the Dragons down to their final strike. Weichman working out of the stretch exclusively. He comes set. Here's the 1-2 to Marquise. Called strike 3, and the ball game is over, and the Blue Dragons 2017 season is over. Neosho County defeats Hutchinson 5-3. The Blue Dragons end their season 47-13. A tough way to end it. The Blue Dragons, the final Jayhawk West team that was left alive, is now 3 East teams remaining in the tournament. Neosho County and Johnson will play in the losers bracket final tomorrow, and the winner of that game must defeat Cali twice. 5-3, the Dragons fall. The season is done. We'll wrap it up right after this break. Welcome back to Lawrence-Dumont Stadium, everybody. Steve Carpenter with you with Denny Steckline. The season is over for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons. The Jayhawk West Championship on their resume, but they are the 5th team to bow out of the Region 6 tournament, falling to Neosho County 5-3. Hutchinson ends the season at 47-12. A tremendous number of things that we can wrap up down the road. But right now, the pain of the end of the season is apparent. You look down at that dugout and a very disheartened bunch of Blue Dragons. And Denny Steckline, we got to say goodbye to some tremendous, tremendous sophomores that you and I have become very close to.
No question, Carp, and that's the hardest part about this is there are, you know, obviously baseball is the focus of what we're talking about right now, But when you really get to the root of things, you know, what you and I both want to do every day when we go to work for Hutchinson Community College, and what these coaches want is not only to prepare these young men to do their best on the baseball diamond, but to move on from Hutchinson Community College and become productive and live their lives the way that the coaches have shown them the right way to do things. And you've been around this program a lot more than I have, and a lot closer to it than what I have, even though we followed it for a number of years. And there's some sophomores here you just can't say enough good things about. And I think it says a lot about the Blue Dragon family when we talk about all these tweets and texts that we were getting tonight from all these people that have stayed connected and still have that Blue Dragon pride and care enough to follow from all over the country what's going on here. And you know, it's going to be tough. We're all going to be down there by the bus when the boys come out, and there's going to be a lot of long faces, a lot of tears shed. A lot of friendships have been made, and not only among the players, but the parents who spend these 2 years together in the bleachers. But at some point, hopefully they have time to reflect. You know, 47-13, tied for the most wins in the history of it. Is it 13 or 12? 47 wins.
Yeah, 47 wins.
47 wins. You know, tied for the most ever in the history of Blue Dragon baseball. The two leading hitters in terms of base hits in the history of the Jayhawk Conference. Nolan Hoffman with his strikeouts, and
Caden Doge tied for second in home runs.
Tied for second and just obliterated the school record for home runs in his freshman season. They need to take the time to reflect when this heals and dwell on all the positives that come from this. You know, Coach Schmidt, Coach Cervantes, Coach Reller, Coach Cornejo have a tremendous amount of pride in these young men. And it's easy for us to say and give it lip service, you know, keep your chin up, you know, don't hang your head. But they're hurting right now. You feel for David Tudhope. Outside of just a handful of pitches, what an amazing game he threw tonight. And, you know, we got to give credit to DeBoard, too, because he just came after the Blue Dragons. And, you know, you have games that you win, you have games you lose. The Blue Dragons didn't really lose this game.
No.
Neosho won it. They took it from him. And just an outstanding night by both of them. But, you know, the one good thing I can take from this, Carp, is we're one day closer to opening day next year.
That is true.
And there's some great kids coming back. And it's going to be a lot of fun to spend time in the press box once again. And, you know, spend the summer with probably 8 or 10 of them with the Hutchinson Monarchs. And get ready to do it all over again.
That's the great thing about baseball. There's always tomorrow. Not for this season. This season's wrapped up. Real quickly, the totals for this one. For Neosho County, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. For the Blue Dragons, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 5 left on base. The winning pitcher, Alex DeBoard, he improves to 8-3. David Tudhope takes a tough loss. He finishes the season at 5-2, and Hayden Weichman gets his 3rd save. A nice crisp pace of 2 hours and 14 minutes. So the Blue Dragons, the Jayhawk West champions of 2013, their highest ranking ever in the national poll of number 3. 47 wins, ties the school record, a school record number of home runs, 92, a school record number of hits, 674, school number record of runs at 559, and again, all the numerous records that we've alluded to throughout this 2017 season. So the Dragon season is done. My thanks to you, Danny Steckline, for helping out. Let's take a little break, get ready for track, and then it's Monarch season.
That's right. Thanks, Carp. I appreciate this, and thanks for the opportunity to spend some time up here in the booth with you. And yeah, it's tough to see it end, We'd rather have spent our last days of the season in Grand Junction, Colorado, but that's just not going to be the case this year.
Also, my thanks to my left in the booth next to us to cameraman Nathan Light and video coordinator Brandon Sams. Again, tremendous effort by those gentlemen in helping make this a very successful video stream year for the Blue Dragon Sports Network. And very lastly, my thanks to everybody listening in tonight. A huge crowd. Thanks to all the players for checking in via Twitter and on text, and all the former Blue Dragons. Only 2 teams left in the 2017 season. Golf starts its national run in Garden City on Tuesday, and the national track meet on Thursday in Hutchinson. Several Blue Dragon athletes will be involved in that. And honestly, you owe yourself to go see Adriana Yannick. She was an indoor national champion, and she's going to be battling for 3 outdoor national championships. You owe it to yourself to come out to Gowan Stadium and check her out. That's going to do it. The season wrapped up for Blue Dragon baseball. They fall 5-3 to Neosho County tonight. The season ends at 43-17. Steve Carpenter from Lawrence-Dumont Stadium. So long, everybody.